Good morning and welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Giambetti along with Mike Egan, and we're our last show before the new year. So both of us would like to wish everyone a happy new year, and we hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a happy holidays, and hope everything was great. Did you get all you wanted for Christmas, or?
Yeah.
You did? Okay,
Yeah.
well that's good.
You got the bills.
All right, that's the best part of it. Yeah, it's the best part for your kids and your grandkids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
No, it was a fun, quiet. How can you have Christmas without snow?
well, it has to be the first time in my memory of living here for 64 years that
No
haven't
snow.
had snow
Yeah.
for Christmas.
And it doesn't look very good for the future either.
Well, I know something.
We're going to get dumped on. One of these days we'll get dumped on.
Well, we'll get dumped on in March and April.
Yeah.
Is when it's going to all show up.
And all the water pipes will be breaking from the frost. And
So yeah, at some point it's going to catch up with us, I'm sure.
yeah,
But now I look at it, try to look at it positively. Usually your three coldest months are December, January, and February. Well, we got out of November
right.
without too bad much of a cold snap. December we're going to get out of it.
Yep.
So now it's only January and February where it's going to be, if
Cold.
it's frigid, it'll be frigid those 2 months. So that'll be a good thing.
Yeah, that'll help on keep the utility bills down a little bit, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. But so we obviously have a lot to talk about in a short time to do it in. So I suppose we should get going.
Jump right in. First of all, before we go, I just want to give a kudos or hats off to our athletic director, Keith Turner, for coming through yesterday. A lot of people don't know that Minneapolis North high school team, we're all waiting for get on the bus, and they had no bus driver. So apparently all the bus drivers were on vacation. So I'm not sure if Mr. Turner, through the school or with the help of the Hoop Club, was able to get Shubat to get a bus, go down, pick the kids up, bring them up here, and then hopefully bring them back.
Well, they'll be.
We only have one really good basketball team for a while.
Yeah, they'll have to transport them wherever they're going
Yeah.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
because they have their dinner over in, I think, at Valentini's.
But again, it's just hats off to the athletic department for doing that and giving these kids an opportunity to come up and play. So
And did you see them play?
I missed I missed most of their game, but I went and watched the boys play last night.
Well, I'm talking about Minneapolis North now.
Yes, I missed part of their game, but I did see they're good.
If you want to watch some decent now, as a sidebar, I thought they missed way too many shots underneath the basket. Minneapolis North.
Yep.
Now we're talking about, but the quickness and the athleticism
Yep.
that those players showed last night was
Yep.
unbelievable.
Yep.
And we have the Tartan team. Where's Tartan out of?
St. Paul. I
St.
think.
Paul.
Yeah.
I think they ended up beating. Yeah, they beat
Beating-
Denfeld,
Yep.
which is no slouch team either. And so that could be your final game on Friday, and it's going to be. I want to be front row seat for that game
Should be a
because
good
that's
game.
going to be a good game.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure of it. But your Hibbing did take it on the chin last night. They lost to Mountain Iron Buell, but because of one team not showing up, Mountain Iron could only play
2 games
one game.
or 1 game. All right.
They can only play that one game last night, so Hibbing does move into the semifinals, even though they got beat.
Right.
And they will play North tonight. I believe it starts at 7:30 or something, so between 7 and 7:30. And then Jamestown, North Dakota comes up today, and they will move into the consolation semifinal. And they will be playing Bemidji, I believe, because North beat Bemidji. So, and Rock Ridge ended up winning, so they're playing Tartan today. And Nashwauk, I give Nashwauk credit for coming. I want to say that right away, because it's a 1A school, a small 1A school, and you're taking on some pretty big boys here in that class. And thank you to Kyle Georgie for bringing his team over here to fill out the bracket.
It's been a pretty good tournament. I mean, unfortunately, Hibbing last night lost the turnover battle. They outscored them on turnovers.
Oh,
That was
and you know, and that's been a point of emphasis all year is, protect the ball.
Yeah.
And it's just that some of the things I see them do, the turnovers, a lot of them are unforced.
Yep.
It's just not, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You know, if I have the ball in the lane, shoot it. We had a couple
Trying to
yesterday
pass,
where they
force
tried
it
to
in.
pass it out, and passes got intercepted. These kids have some height, so when you get 5 feet from the basket, nobody's going to block your shot.
Right.
And if they do, they do. But my point is getting a shot off is better than creating a turnover.
Yeah. And most big men can't handle the ball down here. It's got to be up
Yeah,
here. So,
it does. And so, they're a work in progress.
Yep.
And I mean,
Yep.
there's talent there. There's not like there isn't any talent.
and they have some height, as you said.
Oh,
so,
God, yes. They have height in the junior varsity, at the junior varsity level, and even down below at the C level.
Yeah.
They've got some height. So you just have to just slow the game down, let the game come to you. You can't, sometimes you just can't move that quickly. You got 35 seconds, yes, but 35 seconds is a long time to get down the court and set something up and get a decent shot off, or at least a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have 20 turnovers, if you cut that in half and get 10 more shots, you might make 5 of them. Hopefully you make all of them. That's 20 points, or, well, if you don't make any threes, obviously, but
Well, they're like the Vikings. You can't win with 4 turnovers.
well, no. And obviously the discrepancy between turnovers in football and basketball is big,
Right.
but you have the ball more often in basketball, and
Well, I don't know what it was as far as the turnover ratio for how many points Mountain Iron scored off of turnovers, but it was pretty high.
oh yeah, and Mountain Iron's not a bad team.
No.
They're
They get out and run, and
that Chris King underneath
kid
the
in the middle?
basket, very good player, and
Yeah.
you can't give him space underneath because he's very agile and strong and big, and he can move.
yeah, he moves people.
Yeah, he does. And then the Duchamp kid from the number 1, I believe, from the outside can.
Shoot.
Once they started hitting threes, it was going to be tough
Yep.
for Hibbing to come back on that. But you know what? Keep working hard, support each other through good and bad, and you got to bring team unity and chemistry together, and that's the only way that I think you're going to have success.
The other nice thing is nice to see a lot of the kids that graduated were back and watched the game, and Mr. McDonald was there, and Mr. Brown, and Mr. Mamigay, Mr. Dury.
Luke Lindell was
was there,
there.
yeah.
Jaden Colbaugh was there.
So it's nice to see that they come back and support the program, but we'll see. Hopefully they get it together.
Yep, and because the ability's there,
Yeah.
they can't lose sight of that fact that they have ability. It's just now putting it together for 6 minutes, if my Hibbing math is correct.
Close enough. So girls are starting today, correct?
Girls start. They were supposed to have a 4-team kind of round robin thing going on starting today, or maybe even starting yesterday. I don't know. With the 4 teams, it would have been better yesterday. But yeah, Hibbing does play. They opened at 4:00 today against Moundsview, playing Moundsview, and then Bemidji's the other team in there. And then tomorrow they'll play Bemidji, and then in between there, Moundsview and Bemidji will play.
Okay.
So that's what's going on there. That's all at the high school gym. So if you can, if people say there's nothing to do in this town, well, you're wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you
Because
what,
there's plenty to do.
they had a really nice turnout for the Mountain Iron Hibbing game last night. I mean, the stands were full.
Yeah. So you go out and support your local high school athletes. And I don't know how many people, like Moundsview or Bemidji will bring up, but I'm sure it'll be they'll have a decent
Yeah.
fan following, I'm assuming.
Don't have to worry about the snow.
Well, I know that's the thing though, is now it's a little cooler today, so I don't know how
Yeah.
icy the roads
Little
might be,
sleetier.
but so that takes care of that.
Okay, boys hockey is
Boys hockey's
in the
down
cities.
at the.
Herb Brooks
I'm
Invitational.
gonna find it here because I know
And the girls are playing in Quantipa.
they're at the Kaposha Classic.
Kaposha, that's it. Me and Ron couldn't figure that one out.
They opened today against Woodbury. So and they also have Holy Angels and I think Champlain Park. No, I don't think that's right. But Holy Angels and one other team in that bracket. But hey, they've been going to that tournament for 26 years or 27 years, and the tournament started back in '95 when girls hockey was first initiated. So
That's when Amber put it on the map.
yeah,
Amber Strickland.
so to just have a tournament run that long is fantastic, and to be able to play in it for as long as they have is great too. So good luck to them.
Yep.
Down there. This is usually the springboard for them. I mean, it's hard to believe that they're at the midway point of their
Halfway
season.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it seems like they just started, which they did in November. But I mean, but their tournament comes up early February.
You said you had the boys listed.
The boys, it's the Herb Brooks Holiday Classic tournament. On Tuesday, they beat Breck 3-2,
there?
which is, hey, I'd have to assume that's a decent win
Yep.
against, that's a private school.
Private school.
Well, then they took on Gentry Academy yesterday, which is obviously another private school. And they did lose 4-2, however, to Gentry Academy. It was a tie game late in the third period, and I believe with 50 seconds to go, Gentry Academy scored the go-ahead goal, and then they got an empty net
netter.
goal 20 seconds or so later. So, that's not too bad. That team is very competitive. And today they play at 4:15. They're playing Two Rivers, and that's at the Super Rink in Blaine. So good luck to them. Hopefully you come home with a 2-1 mark from down there.
Yes.
And I know, it was weird not having a boys
Tournament here.
tournament up here, but it made my life a lot easier. But they
Yours
want,
and Keith Turner's life.
Yeah.
Easier.
but they wanted to go somewhere else and take on. It's maybe because you can't get maybe it's tough to get teams up here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is anymore or not.
Well, in the past, my opinion, in the past, teams would jump at the chance to come up here and play because they knew the competition, they knew the area, and it is a hockey town. And now it's just, I don't know if it's the travel thing or expense thing or what it is, but it just, you don't seem to get the teams. Even the youth tournaments, they're mostly local teams that'll come. So
Yeah, no, I get you're totally 100% right. I mean, it's too bad, but you know what? They're going down and they're playing good competition. I mean, again, I don't know some of the teams, how good some of the teams are in here because it also included Pine City, Two Rivers, Simley, Duluth Marshall, and Red Lake Falls. I don't know. Marshall obviously has had the reputation up here of being a decent program, and
well, the private schools, I'm sure, with all the recruits they have got to be a pretty good team.
well, I think Gentry Academy actually made it to the state tournament last year in Class A. So to drop a 4-2 game with an empty net goal to them is not. You don't have to hang your head.
Right.
You're competing. I know you want to win games, but hey, in the long run, you're learning. It's a good experience.
Wrestling, anything going on there? Do you know?
They have one home match this year, and I haven't been checking up on track wrestling to see how they've been doing.
No Christmas tournament.
No, and they don't have the tournament in January anymore, the duels, which was always a big thing
Right.
every year until I don't know what happened to that. I mean, again, maybe it was
Getting
just
teams to come, I guess. I don't know.
more than likely.
Swimming?
Swimming, they're off now. They just got, I think they had another triple dual meet again over down in Duluth, and I think they lost to both. I can't remember, Superior maybe and Duluth themselves.
Okay.
So they won't start up until this new year's. So that takes care of that. Skiing, they had a decent
Downhill?
meet. Yeah, they had a meet just before Christmas, which I don't know how the heck.
On that artificial snow?
Yeah, and Sylvie Wetzel did pretty well for the girls. Abby Helms, I believe, did pretty well for the girls. I think she might have had a fall. She had a really decent run, I think, on her first. But then on her second one, she may have fallen and got taken out, but she was doing pretty good.
Is that when they go through the gates?
Yeah,
Okay.
they go through. And then Logan Maxwell and Edric Cardona finished up in the teens, at least top 20 for Hibbing on the boys' side. So those two had a decent run. So hopefully they can continue that success.
That's a good name for a downhill skier.
Cardona, yeah, maybe that's his sport.
Yeah.
I don't know, but so congratulations to them, and continued success
Yep.
for the
Good.
rest of if they get any
If
snow
they get
out
any
there.
snow.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm sure Giants Ridge is making it at the moment, probably, but
Yeah, you think Round would clean the place up a little bit? I
well,
got some type of hair all over my microphone.
You're the only one up there.
Yeah, but it's brown. It's not white.
Maybe came from a different part.
Yes.
so that I think pretty much wraps up
Yeah,
the
good.
high school stuff. The college gets back into play.
Brought to you by our unofficial sponsor. What are we having today?
Carmel High Rise.
Ooh, okay.
So,
Can't make fun of that because
Nope.
it sounds good.
Yep, it is. So the college gets back in action this weekend after they had their break. So we'll see how the Cardinals do as they come up. And how about the Gopher football team?
Oh, hey, they won the, what do they call the bowl they played in Detroit?
You know what? I forget.
Academic Bowl?
Well, that's
That's
how
why
they
they
got
got
in.
in.
Yeah, that's how they got in. Good for them, though. I mean, I'm glad their
Yeah.
athletes are going to school and they're getting the grades, and they got rewarded for it.
And
So
that young freshman runner, 222 yards running. I mean, that's pretty good. Says a lot for your offensive line that, especially the ones that didn't leave and go somewhere else.
yeah, there were I don't know how many players that didn't suit, even on both sides of that. Both sides had it.
That to me is, that's got to be, I don't know how you can, as a football player, getting a scholarship, getting everything handed to you, and then you finally, your senior year, you go to play a bowl game. I'm not going to go because I'm going to go protect myself so I can go play for the pros.
Yeah, and then for their quarterback to after the season to enter the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Good luck to Eighth and Callie McManus, but you weren't that impressive here.
No.
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know you. You're probably a great individual, but you certainly couldn't sling the football around the field.
And apparently they really don't have a quarterback. The kid that played quarterback was
Cole Kramer,
yeah.
who was a backup,
Yep.
pretty much, and he was on his way out. Not through the portal or anything, but just to be done with football. And then when Callie McManus decided to go to the portal, I'm sure Fleck called Kramer up and asked him to come back and play. And hey, congratulations to him. He started a game. He won the game.
Good.
He had some decent throws. I actually watched the game the other day because there's nothing else to do. And yeah, it looked really good. I mean, now. You heard the Bowling Green coach
No.
during his press conference. He said Minnesota couldn't throw a pass between me and you.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what?
Well, they didn't need to throw any passes
Nope.
because your defense was leaky enough to give the guy 200 and whatever yards
22
rushing.
yards, yeah.
And that's why you got beat. You didn't get beat, obviously, because of the pass. You got beat because you couldn't stop the run. And you knew it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on. I know he's probably being funny. I get that, and it is kind of humorous to hear him say that. But hey, you knew it was coming,
Yeah.
so stop it.
So do you think the Gophers will try to get a quarterback then to come through the portal?
Well, they have, and I'm not. They might have one coming from out east, and they might have one coming from Arkansas.
And the next question is Fleck is still smoke and mirrors, or is he really a coach?
I'm fine with him. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with how he goes about, row the boat and all that stuff. But hey, the kids buy in,
Yeah,
so
well.
good for them.
Until they win a few more games in the Big Ten,
Well.
they're still the Gophers.
Well, that's true. I mean, they were averaging over 9 wins, probably for other than this year, the
Yeah,
past
but-
3 or 4 years.
But now what's going to happen when USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington join the Big Ten?
Well, it's going to shake up things a lot, no doubt about it.
And throughout the country, you're going to have 4 super leagues. I mean, there's no more rivalry, no more. Yeah, it's going to be. I don't understand it, but money talks, and
Well,
you know what walks.
so now that's the funny part, because now you have Rutgers, which is out east,
Yep.
probably at the farthest point.
Yep.
And now you're going to have
UCLA
and USC.
Washington.
That's they're closer.
Yep.
Obviously, they're up farther north, but I don't know how you can be a Big Ten anymore when you have.
They're not.
all that stuff.
They're going to have 4 different
Yeah.
leagues. Will be the Midwest League. They'll have it down south like the SEC. Out west will have the big 14 or whatever, how many teams they're going to have, and Texas will have their own. So-
Yeah. And now you can't. Now you can. And I don't know if this is going to happen, but now you don't have to play any of those
Meaningful games.
preseason
Yeah.
games that you
Yeah.
play when you have all these teams in the Big Ten.
Yep.
Load your schedule up with them and play it that way. Do
Right.
not play. I don't got cutting down Bowling Green, but don't put a Bowling Green on your schedule when you've got USC and UCLA. You can just play
Right.
all straight Big Ten games and have that's how your season goes.
So, well, we better get into the pro side. What do you want to start with? Your Wild are doing pretty good.
Well, yeah, they're the hottest team right now in the NHL, except they're not making up any ground.
Yeah.
That's the issue. I mean, I heard they won 6-3 last night over
Yep.
Detroit, but I don't know if they're one game under 500 or.
Well, they were saying the other night too. Now that they're going to start playing teams within their division. That a lot of their games have been against the Eastern teams. So, if they're going to catch or make up ground, they're going to have to do it now.
Actually, well, okay, they are. If you go, they're 16, 13, and 4. So I guess technically they're 16 and 17.
Yeah.
So they are one game below 500, but I don't count those necessarily. You get a point for those
For
4.
the ties.
Yeah. So they're just ties. So they actually are above 500. They're at 545 right now. So that's their winning percentage. But man, they didn't make up ground last night. They're still a point behind St. Louis and a 2 behind Nashville and Arizona.
Yeah, but they're going to start playing those teams now.
Yeah, no, and they're going to have to win those games, obviously, if they want to make up ground. But
And how about poor Arizona? They're playing in a college
stadium.
stadium, and Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, is trying to get them out of Arizona. And, where are they going to go? Duluth?
Yeah, well, no, bring them up here. We got a 5,000 seat arena up here,
Yeah.
I think.
No.
So we'll take them.
And as I mentioned before, in our pre-meeting last night, they were picking the worst franchises in professional sports, and guess whose number 1 was? The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna guess because you had already told
Yeah.
us out there, so it wasn't like it was a surprise when you
Because
said
of their
that.
front office management
Well,
and the fact that they sign guys, they play here for a year, then they leave. But they're doing well too.
the Wolves are fine. I mean, they got beat by Oklahoma City the other night, but that was in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's a decent team,
Yep.
so they're not going to win every game.
No,
But they're playing well. They're sharing the ball. Towns was out for a couple games, but he was back the other night,
will
and
he break a fingernail or something?
supposedly a knee.
Oh,
So we'll see. Hopefully that's not. Obviously, he played last night or the other night against
Yeah.
Oklahoma City.
Beat
But-
Dallas tonight.
But speaking of that, do you see who was coaching Minneapolis North?
no.
Ricky Davis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to say that earlier.
nice.
So he was a former NBA player,
Yeah.
and he played for the Wolves for
Yeah.
2 or 3 years. So
Well, good.
good. I'll get the chance to talk to
There
him
you go.
maybe tonight.
Get the inside scoop.
Get the I don't know how he ended up at Minneapolis
Minneapolis
North
North.
coaching boys basketball. So
You know, at Minneapolis North High School, their gymnasium is built on top of my grandmother's house.
oh yeah,
That's where I grew up. Yeah,
how it comes around.
right down
full
my
circle.
old North Commons Park.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a shock to me when I found and he doesn't look. Again, he's tall,
Yeah,
but on TV they look like they're like this thick.
yeah.
You
And
know,
thin.
and he's thin. So I don't know if he's down from a playing weight, or I'm sure he probably played a lot heavier. But that was interesting. The Vikings,
Oh,
Green Bay this weekend. They have nobody to blame but themselves.
I don't
for
see them.
this.
And again, you know, we've talked about this. I blame their general manager. I really do. I mean, they went out and unfortunately Hawkinson got hurt. That hurts the team. Cousins, that's another one. Hicks was out for a while. But they just don't have any backup.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to have a good team, you got to have guys that are going to back up the guys when they get hurt. And they don't have that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and especially at quarterback.
Right.
And it's not that Mullins is thrown for over 300 yards in the 2 games he started.
Yeah, but you're
So it's not
gonna
like he hasn't produced, but he's also throwing like 8 interceptions in those 2 games. So, that's the issue. Now, obviously, I heard Ben Lieber talk about this morning on KFan. 2 of those interceptions in the last game were like punts.
Yeah.
He just threw the ball up on 4th down or whatever it was, or maybe it was a 3rd and long or something. And that ball changed field position.
But then again, you're getting your number 1 player back, Jefferson, and you're throwing the ball around to intercept, and then he looks so frustrated, like, yeah, maybe I want to go play somewhere else.
I don't. Well, he's made a case for them to sign Cousins back.
Yeah.
So if they do that, but they still got to sign him to how much money
Right.
he's going to make.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do. If they lose,
I think if you lose their next 2 games, like you said earlier, they're in the top 10 for the picks and go after Nix, whatever his name is.
yeah, I don't. No, don't say anymore, because who knows what'll come out of your mouth after.
Both scrotum. Is it Nix or Dick?
Yeah, Nix.
From Oregon,
Yeah, and then there's Michael Penix
from US.
from Washington.
Yeah, and then the USC
Caleb
quarterback.
Williams from USC.
So
No, but and again, we're running out of time here, I guess. But
okay.
Happy
New Year.
yeah,
everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone. For Mike Egan, I'm
See
Gary
you next
Ciabetti.
week.
We'll see you next week on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support.